All right, let's talk about something that seems normal, but is actually kind of crazy when you stop and think about it. Why do hens lay an egg almost every single day? Seriously, think about that for a second. Most animals don't do anything daily like that. A dog doesn't have a puppy every day, a cow doesn't have a calf every day, but a chicken? She's just out there laying eggs like it's part of her daily routine. So, what's really going on? First thing to understand is this: hens are not laying eggs for us. They're not out there thinking, all right, time to feed the family. This is just a natural biological process. In the wild, chickens are seasonal layers. They're designed to reproduce when conditions are right, usually spring and early summer, when there's more daylight, more food, and better chances for chicks to survive. Now, here's when it gets interesting. A hen's body runs on a cycle. From the time one egg starts forming to the time it's laid, it takes about 24 to 26 hours. So basically, once she gets going, her body is on a loop. Eggs form, get built, shell goes on, and then laid. Then the process starts all over again. That's why you might notice your hens lay a little later each day. Maybe one day it's at 8 in the morning, next day it's closer to 10, then noon. That's because it's not exactly 24 hours, it's a little longer. Eventually, it gets so late in the day that her body just kind of resets. She skips a day and then starts back over early again. Now, here's another thing a lot of people misunderstand. You do not need a rooster for hens to lay eggs. No rooster equals no baby chicks, but hens will still lay eggs just the same. Those are unfertilized eggs, which is exactly what you're eating when you buy eggs at the store. The rooster's only role is fertilization, not production. So even if you got a backyard flock with no rooster at all, you're still getting eggs. Now let's talk about why they lay so many. In nature, chickens don't just lay forever. They lay what's called a clutch, a group of eggs, usually around 10 to maybe 15, and then they stop. At that point, the hen goes broody, meaning she sits on those eggs to hatch them. But domestic chickens, they've been bred differently. Over time, people have selectively bred chickens to lay more eggs and to lay more consistently. So instead of stopping after a clutch, they just keep going, day after day, week after week. That's why a healthy backyard hen can lay 5 to 6 eggs a week. Now, there are a few things that affect how often the hens lay. Light is a big one. Hens need about 14 to 16 hours of daylight to stay consistent. That's why in the winter, egg production usually drops off. Then there's nutrition. They need protein, calcium, the right balance, and stress plays a role too. Predators, noise, moving them around, all that can slow them down. But when everything lines up just right, they're incredibly consistent, almost like a built in system running in the background. And when you really stop and think about it, every single egg you collect took over 24 hours to make. The yolk forms, then the white, then the shell, all of it built inside that hen before you even see it. And then she lays it, stands up, walks away like it was nothing. No big moment, no announcement, just another day. And right when you're sitting there thinking about how all of this works, how consistent it is, how wild it really is, she laid an egg.